Okay, hang on. Yeah, so once again, my name is Kim Pong. I'm the CEO and founder of Strength Asia, everybody. And today's program is being Facebook Live on the Strength Asia Facebook page. At the same time, we are doing this on our Zoom live over here. Welcome. I think we have people from all over the world. We have people from Philippines, from Taiwan, from China, from Singapore, from Malaysia, Indonesia. So welcome everybody. Thank you very much for coming. Now, if you've been following us for the last few series, what we've been trying to do is really to kind of, share with the community, how can we actually work smarter during this COVID-19 here. And today, like I said, it's our 4-part series here. And I'm gonna, just start us off really quickly here, right? And the title for today here is this: what has COVID-19 taught us, as businesses and as people? So can I just ask everybody, if you can use the chat box, in Zoom over here, and for those of us who are on Facebook Live, go ahead and use the comment box. What I'd love you to share with everybody right now is, going through this whole COVID-19, working from home, changing whatever you need to change. What is something that, COVID-19 has taught you? So go ahead and, populate your comments, your insights into the chat box in Zoom. And for those who are on Facebook Live, go ahead and populate that into Facebook Live over there. So while you're doing that, let me just play you guys some music while I get onto Facebook Live on my own here real quickly. All right, cool. Very neat. So we are getting in here, everybody. Very cool. Well, so we got Bonnie that says, just taught me adaptability. And then we have Yuanhua that tells us, learning about connection, compassion, and care. And Joey Cruz, you're talking about, that we can learn anything as long as we want to, right? We can learn anything as long as we want to. James, says it's restrictive and very inconvenient. I could perfectly understand that, James. What about those in Facebook Live? I think Facebook Live, there's always a little lag on that. So let them come in, and as the comments come in, I will just add on to our page over here. So what has COVID-19, taught you and I? Well, essentially, I think what it has done is that, it has really changed our life quite drastically. And I want to start off this sharing by asking 2 very simple questions. Do you live to exist, or do you exist to live? Now, these 2 are really important questions because depending on how you answer it, it's going to dictate and determine your actions towards your life and towards the way you are going to be living your lives, in this present COVID-19 days and post-COVID-19 days. How you answer this question would dictate your actions and dictate your outcome here. Now, I'm really hoping that you will choose the second answer here, which is to exist to live and not live to exist. Because for me, I just feel that, to live to exist is just taking up extra space on planet Earth here and consuming resources, with not much impact, influence, or productivity here, right? So what has COVID-19 done for us? Well, one of the things it has done for us is that it's created new normals for all of us. Not just one normality, but many normalities, right? And I think COVID-19 has impacted the world all over. It came unwelcome, uninvited, and and unexpectedly, right? And we didn't want it, but it came, and it's impacted many areas. But in particular, it's impacted really 4 big areas in our lives all over the world. And the first thing is really this: it's about working from home. Now, working from home is no longer a fashion statement. It used to be a privilege. It used to be, oh my gosh, you are so cool, you can work from home. I wish my boss are like your boss, right? Well, no longer. Working from home was really kind of instituted by COVID-19 the minute it came in. Globally, the whole world stopped, working from the office, and the whole world moved into working from home. Now, that has been really, really quite drastic, and that's no longer, like I said, a privilege, but a reality. And because of that, this is something that I think, going forward is no longer the question of, is working from home, going to be around after COVID-19. But I think it's more of a question of how much working from home is going to comprise the business practice of our work every day here. The second thing here is this, right? Because of COVID-19, online has exploded big time. Online has fully exploded. Digital, is something that has already been here with us. But because of COVID-19, it has amplified the urgency. It has amplified I'm sorry, my cat is at the bottom of my table here. So if you keep seeing me looking down, I apologize. Let me just show you guys this. He's kind of cute guy here, guys. Everybody, that's Moo Moo. Everybody. All right, off you go. All right, cool. So online, right, it's exploded big time, and digital is here to stay. Now, if your businesses do not have any online kind of engagement right now, well, start getting it online, because what COVID-19 has done is that those businesses that are already online has gone far beyond what they what they ever imagined, right? But for those of us who have not gotten the online business yet, COVID-19 is going to make sure that every one of us is going to take that path over there. The third thing is this, right? Travel will definitely change. Now, because again of COVID-19, what it has taught us is this, right? For us to have fruitful meetings, collaborative meetings, not everybody needs to be at the same place at the same time, right? We can be all over the place, coming together via technology to be able to meet very fruitfully and very collaboratively here. So this is definitely going to impact travel into the future. I don't think the airlines are going to go away. Although to be honest, right now there are many airlines in the world, they are technically insolvent, they are technically bankrupt. But I think once the restrictions are relaxed, travel may never ever be the same again, especially in the area of business, right? Because now people realize, my gosh, we actually can be far more productive working, remotely, as opposed to flying long distances just to have a 1-hour meeting with the person over there. So travel will change. The fourth area here is jobs are going home. Because of COVID-19 is massively, disrupted monumentally the supply chain, all over the world. And businesses, they will have to have a major rethink on their business continuity plans. Businesses would have to rethink their off-siting. Businesses will have to rethink everything that they're doing with regards to subcontracting and all that kind of stuff, right? And as businesses are going back to the home countries, it simply means this. There are going to be many existing businesses because of this. They are going to lose their entire businesses, or they would have to transform and evolve into new businesses here. So these are the four things here. So what have we learned? As businesses, as as individuals, what have we learned here? So I want to share with you about 7 ideas on what we have learned here. Now, as I'm doing this here, go ahead, and populate on the chat box and on Facebook Live here, as to what yourself have learned. So I just saw something here from Ash, and he said, and I'm not sure whether you are a she or a he, but I'm just going to say you. You say, we can survive with online shopping. That is so true, isn't it? For the first time yesterday, I managed to get my online delivery from NTUC. After being locked down for 8 weeks, I couldn't get a slot. Yesterday, finally, I got my slot. And the first thing I ordered, guess what? 24 cans of Coke Zero here. My gosh, this is kind of flippant, right? And Jeremiah Tan says, it taught me that learning new stuff is fun, challenging, and interesting here. And culture makes no difference. Johnny Chen says, time to reconnect, to reboot here. Absolutely spot on here. So let me just carry on, right? So what have we learned? The first thing is that we have to learn, or rather we are learning to embrace change here. Like I mentioned just now, when COVID-19 came, it came unexpectedly, it came uninvited, unwelcome. It literally plonked itself into our lives here. It literally stopped our lives. It literally changed our lives the minute it landed. And I think many of us were literally fighting, that change here. I, for one, I got a major confession here. Singapore went into a work from home mandate. We call it the circuit breaker, almost about 6 weeks ago, right? And I remember just a day before, the official circuit breaker sets in, I was still in my office trying to clear my office stuff and trying to bring things back home, right? And I was literally lamenting. I was like, my gosh, I was trying to find loopholes, right, to allow me to continue to stay in the office and work from the office. I was like, my gosh, I want my old life back. I want to be working in the office. I literally was fighting the inevitable here. And until I realized, my gosh, that change is something that's out of my control here. I can't deal with that change. I can't do anything about the change. The only thing I can do about it is to embrace it. And when you embrace it, excuse me, I'm going to drink some water here. And when you embrace it, right, essentially you give yourself a lot more liberty and you allow yourself that possibility of growth here. But every time you fight a change that you yourself cannot control, you limit yourself and you kind of lock yourself down into always old things, and because of that you can't move forward. So guys, ladies, gentlemen, everyone, embrace the change, right? That's what we learn. The second thing here is to focus on what you have and not what you do not have. I know, like, because of COVID-19, when it came in, many businesses lost their contracts, many businesses lost, client orders, many businesses lost opportunities, and to be honest, for a while, most of us were kind of shell-shocked, that all of a sudden, we are not able to do things the way we normally are used to. And all those orders, all those revenues that were supposed to come in, all of a sudden they stopped. Now, I'm not sure about you, but for me, I definitely had this experience here. I was focusing on the things that I do not have, and that kind of dragged me down quite a fair bit. It's like, gosh, we don't have this client for this particular period. We don't have this revenue. We don't have this ability. Don't have this platform, and therefore we can't do the job in certain ways. We can't serve the clients and give them the value the way we've been used to. It's all about focusing on the things that we do not have. And one of the things I've learned, in this COVID-19, and I think many of us are learning too at the same time, is this, right? Is that, stop focusing on what we do not have, because that's either gone, either temporarily or forever, right? But we can choose to focus on what we already have. We still have technology, we still have brains, we still have resources, we still have people in our team, we still have customers out there that are trying to figure out, how is it that you and I can be of greater value to them in a situation like this, right? So, so focus on what you have and not what you do not have. And, by doing that, it puts in you and I that certain mentality of readiness. It gives us that power of choice. It allows us to have that ability to pivot into something brand new. So everybody, stop moping and start mapping out your new direction and your new strategy here, right? Focus on what you have and not what you do not have. The next thing here, right, guys, is success is action, right? Success is action. Now, before I go into this, I just saw Janet Tanche's comment here. It forces you to take more risk to try out new things here. That is so true, right? I must sidetrack a little bit here. I think because of this whole COVID-19 thing, it's really forced me to learn new ways of doing old things here. And I must tell you one thing, I'm 57 years old. I'm kind of like, I'm kind of comfortable with my life. I don't really want to learn new things and all that, right? But I'll tell you one thing, because of COVID-19, it really put its spotlight on the areas of your life or on the areas of your capability that say, look, you really got to learn new things, new skills, new experiences in order to be able to face what is to come here. So anyway, coming back to this, success is action here. So COVID-19, what has it done for us? I think it has given us that spirit of greater entrepreneurship. It's given us the spirit of greater, experimentation here, right? Now, if you see me being distracted, it's because of Moo Moo down here that's meowing away like crazy here. Moo, shh, keep quiet. Gosh. Let's come back here to this again. So it's given us a power of experimentation, the courage to try new things here. And one of the things I'm going to tell you is this, right? Success is action. Success is not perfection. Success is not about planning everything, making sure that, all the scenario planning is all set up, all ready to go, and then try something. No. You can't do that during COVID-19 days because things are unfolding every day that you're not even sure what's going to happen next, right? So the scenario planning is constantly changing here. But the whole idea, I think, that has taught us, or COVID-19 has taught us, is really about this simple truth here. Success is action, it's not perfection. Now, this is something that I tell people all the time. You don't have to be right in your first try, but you will never know if you are right if you never ever try. So COVID-19 is that perfect situation for your businesses, for your people, in everything that you're doing, to try something new. So success is action, it is not perfection. Now, the next thing here is this, right? Nothing stays the same forever. Nothing stays the same forever. And I want to share with you a story that I read some time back, right? And this is regarding two entrepreneurs, husband and wife, in the US. They spent the last 10 years building their social media advertising business. And 10 years ago, you know where that is, right? Social media, not very, very prevalent. But in today's context, social media is all-time high. Well, this guy spent 10 years building their social media advertising business. And this guy was blogging, and he blogged that, in 2019, which is just last year, was the best year of his whole entire 10-year career here. Why? And he said this, 2019 was the best year of my life because that's a year where we didn't have to work really, really hard to acquire new clients anymore. We can sit back, relax, and depend on our existing clients because they are just renewing the contracts, they're renewing their advertising, and all we need to do is just to take care of that. And he said this, right? My wife and I, for the first time in 10 years, are beginning to taste and experience what the American dream looked like and sound like. Well, guess what happened? 2020, COVID-19 came, and within 8 weeks, right? 8 weeks, it wiped out their whole entire business because their clients call up, to cancel on the contract. Clients call up, to stop doing whatever things they are doing with the, with the company, and with that, everything goes. Well, nothing stays the same forever. Nothing stays the same forever. So, it's not about complacency here, but it's about, in life, in businesses, in relationship, things are always evolving. And if it's anything, I think COVID-19 really, amplified this basic truth for all of us here. So guys and gals out there, right, do not get stuck on the status quo, but be challenged by what's happening around you to move into new areas, new opportunities, and new strategies of your businesses and your lives here. The next one here, people is key. Now, people is key. Now, one of the interesting things about social distancing is that I think it's also created, or not created, but I think it's also highlighted. Just give me 1 second, everybody. I'm so sorry. I will be right back. I apologize for this, everybody. This is the first time it ever happened because, you know why? My daughter let the cat in just now. She didn't know that I'm broadcasting over here. Anyway, people is key, right? And as I was mentioning here, well, if you love the cat, please comment that you love the cat. I would really love to. Yeah, oh, he's curious. Yeah, you're right. He's absolutely curious here. Oh gosh, this is so cool. And this is what I think Doreen said here, haha, love the cat. Yeah, me too. Yeah, cool. Coming back, people is key. One of the things that COVID-19 has done is to really create this new term called social distancing. Now, we all know what social distancing is together. And I think, I think we are social distancing ourselves in order to really fight COVID-19. But I think in order to win the war against COVID-19, I think we have to become socially together. So I think people, somehow because of COVID-19 is really feeling that, hey, there's this yearning, greater desire, greater want, right? To want to be socially connected with one another here. So everybody, one of the things I've learned about, from this whole COVID-19 here, if people are already important in pre-COVID-19 days, they are even more important in today's context here. So if you're a boss, you're a leader, you're a manager, you are a people, whatever, right? Well, take care of your people because they are your resource, they are your key to everything here. And it's no longer just about the work, it is about the people at work here. And I'm going to share one more thing about these people who are key. during this time here is so challenging for everybody here. So as company, really, do whatever you need to do whatever you can, surprise yourself, right? And equip your people, resource your people to allow them to work really, really well, productively, collaboratively from home here, right? So do that. And one more thing. People are your brand. You treat them well, you take care of them well. Even in this really, really tough time, as you reach out to the customer, they represent your brand reaching out here. So people is key. The next one here, if you talk about people, you have to talk about conversations here. And this is something I've learned, even way before pre-COVID days, right? You want to build a highly engaged team. You want to build a highly excellent, team in your organization. It's all about conversations, because everything is about conversations, and conversations is about everything here. I like to believe that leadership is conversation. I like to believe that relationship is conversation. I like to believe that, impact is conversation. Can you imagine a leader that doesn't know how to carry good conversation, or a follower who will follow somebody who doesn't know how to have a good conversation? No, conversations is everything here. And in COVID-19 here, one of the things I've learned, not just for my own personal team at Strength Asia, but as I talk with friends who are business owners or leaders in different organizations, one of the things they realize is COVID-19 has brought people closer together because of technology. And I'm so grateful that we have technology. It really gave people that platform and that ability to talk even more. And one of the things here is people have realized, that just because I can Zoom doesn't mean I can have a great conversation. I'm learning how to listen to people better. I'm learning to understand how people, share, how people talk, how people describe, and all that. And I like to believe this one other thing, everybody. Amazing things happen to people when their conversations are great. So I think this is something that's going to persist even after COVID days, right? Where people are beginning to realize, my gosh, how do I have better conversations with people every day? So everything is conversation. The next thing here, and this is a final slide here, right? The truth is out there, right? The truth is out there. And what do I mean by that? A lot of people ask me, hey, Pong, what's going to happen after COVID, right? And the truth is this: I think number one, we have really no idea, when this whole COVID fiasco pandemic is ever going to be over. I don't know about that. And the idea really is, it's going to be so much change, so much uncertainty. There's no vaccine even available right now. Now, can you imagine if there's no vaccine and COVID is going to be around for the next 6 months, 12 months, 24 months? How is that going to change our business? How is that going to change the way we relate to one another? How is that going to change, how we serve our customers? Many things are happening right now. So here are some suggestions I have for you. Even though as COVID-19 is teaching us about all those different things, here are just some suggestions, right? One, it's about, be real and be authentic. Figure out what your real business is all about. Figure out what your service is all about, to your customers here. The sad truth is this, ladies and gentlemen, because of COVID-19, some businesses are going to be gone forever. We can't help that, right? But also because of COVID-19, there's going to be new opportunity, new offerings, new services here. I think every one of us, if we look hard enough, if we examine ourselves, true enough, I think we can come up, with a solution that allows us to answer that question here. The second thing is be open. Be open to explore new things. Be open to consider new perspective. As I mentioned, right? How do you use new ways to do old things, right? Be open to the conversations in your team. Be open to, the diversity, the diverse opinion that's brought about by your people. Now, there's no time such as COVID-19 whereby the opinions of people are being amplified, by the capability of technology here. So listen to your people, listen to what's going on, be open, be curious, be courageous here. The next one is to learn new things. Do not stop at where you are, because things are not going to stay the same forever. Learn new things, learn to pivot, learn to change, learn to create new ideas here. The next one is to try new things. Remember what I said just now, success is action here. It's not about perfection. It's about going out to try something a little and then do a little more, and before you know it, hey, maybe that's your sweet spot. That's something that you do really, really well. Boom, it's overflowing, right? So, and then the last piece, repeat the process all over again, right? So be real, be open, learn new things, try new things, and repeat the process all over again. So let me just go through that 7 points that I've mentioned to everybody again, right? First, again, what did I say? Embrace the change. Change is not just coming, change is here. And I think you and I, we've been talking about this all the time. Change is the new normal, right? So embrace the change. The second thing here is focus on what you have rather than what you do not have. Every time you focus on what you do not have, it drains you. Every time you focus on what you do not have, it just stops you in your tracks here, right? And the last one here, not the last one, the next one is success is action. It is not perfection. It is not proper scenario planning. It is not about plan A, plan B, plan C, plan D, and all that. I mean, I'm not saying that that's not important, but I'm saying that in the time as COVID, sometimes that response, that willingness to test out an idea, the willingness to test out something that you've never done before is critical to the survival of your business, right? So success is action. Nothing stays the same forever. I'm not sure how many of you actually know what I'm showing in my screen over here. I know we have young people in our midst here. I also know that people are in my generation. So I'm just curious here, guys. For those people that doesn't know what this stuff are, all right, tell me what you think these are, right? For those people that are born, say, before 1980, right? So if you're born before 1980, do you know what this is, right? So go ahead and populate. Oh my gosh, Ash's radio cassette. Wrong. It's not a radio cassette, right? There's nothing radio about this stuff here. It's a recording tape. Yeah, it is a recording tape. It is a cassette, but it's not a radio cassette. Okay, technicality here. I'm sorry. Yeah. So nothing stays the same forever. Always be evolving. Always be changing. Always be ready to pivot. People is key. People is your brand. People is your resource. There's no other time that you need your people more. This is a time where you really got to look into your people and say, hey, how can I help? Yeah, I love what Elizabeth Lee just said, on the cassette. So retro. My gosh, it's true. That is so retro. Very cool. And the next piece, conversation is everything. As I mentioned, amazing things happen between people when the conversations are great. During COVID-19, I want to re-emphasize this point again. It is a really perfect time to get people on Zoom, get people on whatever platform, Skype or whatever, and have a conversation with them. You know why? Because they got nowhere else to go. They don't need to commute to meet up with you. And I must confess one thing here. I have really talked to a lot more people in the last 6 weeks than I've talked to people in the last 6 years. And that is because of the, number one, the convenience of technology. And number two, people are beginning to learn that, hey, we can actually have decent, great conversation, over technology like this. And the next one here is, the truth is out there. But in order to really tackle the uncertainty, the changingness of what's going on, be real, be open, learn new things, try new things, and repeat the process all over again. So with that, I think we are done for today's session. Time passed really, really fast, isn't it? Now, we are going to take a temporary break over the next 3 weeks. This is the end of the 4-part series here. But we're going to come back again in 3 weeks' time, with a brand new series here. And this time around, we're going to be focusing, a lot on, how do you build your teams in your organizations? How do you build your leadership in your organization? So, if you are, if you are keen on joining us, in the next series here, go ahead, and sign up, for our sessions here. Or if your database is already together with us, we'll send you some reminders on that. But hey, having said that, even though this series is going to come back, in 3 weeks' time, we are not going to stop this momentum here. Over the last, month or so, we have gotten so much good feedback from every one of you. You guys, has shared our message, all over the world. Thank you so much. And then there's been a really good exchange of ideas and all that. So one of the things I am going to do is essentially this, right? I am going to, continue to be live streaming on Facebook here. So we'll live stream on Facebook. and or rather our live stream on Facebook, I would not probably have any particular specific topic here, but I think the topic really is to be a blessing to you, to be an encouragement to you, to be a coach to you, to really do whatever it takes to help everyone out there, to be more successful, during this period in COVID-19, to be more successful in our career, to be more successful in our work, to be more successful in our relationships, to be more successful in whatever we are doing here. So if you want to continue to stay in touch with me, then join me right over the next 3 weeks every Friday at 3 p.m. right, same time, where I'll live stream over my own personal account, Lim Kim Pong, on Facebook Live. So this is the QR code here. So go ahead, everybody. Take about a couple of seconds here. And get your QR code. Or take a picture of this picture here, right? So that you can QR this thing and lead you into my personal Facebook page here. For you to join our live stream here. Okay, good. So I think that's it. I'm gonna check off right now, everybody. Thank you so much for coming. And I am so glad that you came. Now, before I go, just one final thing from everybody. Of all the different points that I've shared with you, which is one point that you feel that most resonates with you? Now, go ahead and put in the chat box. And when you do that, I'm going to stay online at the same time here. For those that needs to leave, go ahead. You can check out right now. Thank you so much. But for those who wants to hang on and hang around and ask me some questions, I will hang around for the next 5+ minutes. And if there's any question, I'll take your questions. If not, I'll see you either at the live, at the Facebook Live next Friday, or I'll see you 3 weeks later in our next series here. With that, thank you very much, everybody.
Think I'll try this a new way. I'm gonna show you the tricks that I know. I'm getting tired of talking, and I need more of a show right now. It's time that you made your mind up, 'cause lately all it ever does is change. Feels like we're only talking, going round and around, back around. I will fight like no other every day. I won't stop like the others. I will stay. 'Cause now is the right time, and I'm feeling alright. I'm playing your game like I know I can win right now. It's a fun, you got me up tonight. 'Cause loving you is like I'm walking a tightrope so high. I won't be turning around, no, I won't be turning around. It's the right time, you feeling alright. I'm playing your game like I won't win tonight. I think I'll do it on my way. I'm gonna show you what I'm going through, get you out of your comfort zone. 'Cause I need more of the truth right now. It's time that you made your
So if there are any
mind
questions
up.
right now, go ahead and populate on that. I'll just hang around for the next 5 minutes. If there is, we'll answer that. If not, we'll check off, very shortly in about 5 minutes. Yeah. Thank you. Yeah.
There's a question from Billy.
Yeah.
So the question is how to induce change at this time so that everyone can start success action for this post-COVID-19 season.
How to induce? Could you say that question one more time, please?
How to induce change at this time so that everyone could start success action for this post-COVID-19 season.
Wow. How to induce change? Well, to induce change is to move forward, right? I think what the whole idea here is it's really about just trying something, no matter how seemingly trivial it is. It's just to try something. And the other thing about inducing change here, Billy, it's don't just do it on your own. Do it with people that you love. So this could be a family thing, right? So do it with people that you love, or in the organization, right? Share it with a colleague here, and say, hey, look, I'm going to try something really kind of crazy and new here. Tell me when I'm doing this. Check it out with me, and together you are journeying with somebody here, right? I think it's more fun when you're able to do it together with people. So yeah, two things here. One, no matter how trivial it is, try it. You never know if you're right if you don't try it, right? And the second thing here is if you can, partner somebody and do it together with somebody. All right, cool.
Okay, we have another question.
Yeah,
This is from Joey.
yeah.
The question is there oh no, no worries, sorry. The question is a live stream question, technical question.
Oh, it's a technical question. All right. Cool.
Yes, correct.
Cool. I just saw something from what do you call that? From Clara Look, and she says, to embrace what we have and dive in with all you might. I love that so much. There's somebody else that I was in a conversation a couple of days ago, and she said that to me. Take what you have and do what you can with it. Literally, which is what it is, right? Take whatever you have and do whatever you can with it and make it work, right? So it's very, very similar to what Clara just said here. And Bonnie has a question here. What is one new thing that you learned during COVID-19 that you think is priceless in your life? Oh my gosh. Maybe it's not so much learning, Bonnie, but I think it's the experience here. Because of COVID-19, I've been having dinner with my family every night. Now that is insane because that never ever happened. It is such a big challenge to try to get every family member together for dinner once a week even. I mean, at least for my family. But I think because of COVID-19, to be able to meet everybody every night for dinner and not just eating, but conversations around the dinner table, that is priceless. That is something that I will forever be grateful for the opportunity. Yep. So thank you very much. Cool.
Okay, another question. This is from Facebook Live from Charlene.
Yeah.
So the question is, what happens if an elder staff exhibit inability to move forward with new technology and change due to COVID-19? So they are unable to perform due to the work from home situation.
Okay, I apologize. I got distracted a little bit. Tell me the question one more time, please. Thank you.
Sure. So from Charlene, what happens if an elder staff exhibit an ability to move forward with new technologies and change due to COVID-19, and they are unable to perform the work due to working? They are able to perform due to working from home.
Yeah, they are unable to perform. Is it? You're saying? Yeah.
Because of technology and change.
Yeah. I think I guess for something like this, you have to break it up into a couple of parts here, right? Now, when you say elder staff, I'm not sure how old are you referring the person to. I am 57 years old, right? I think I can be considered an older staff here. The truth is this, right? I think everybody, if you want to learn, you can learn. If you need to learn, it's really about who you say you are, you become. Who you say you're not, you also become. So I think there are a couple of issues here. Number one, I think it's the attitude of the person. I don't think age is really the matter here. I believe that any age you can learn anything provided you want to do that. So that's one, right? I think it's the attitude. The second thing I believe is about the how to say how you teach that person. So for me, I learn really by just trying new things every day. So I think you may have to create a certain kind of process that suits the learning style of that individual, right? And the third thing here, really is really reviewing reviewing the work in such a way whereby is this the best way to continuing doing that piece of work using that particular piece of technology here. So sometimes it sounded like A would lead to B, that kind of stuff, right? But it may not be the situation. So it may be worth just hanging back a little bit and asking ourselves, do we really need to use that particular way to continue doing that particular thing there, right? But I think of all the three things I've just suggested here, the number one I believe is the attitude. Is the attitude of the person open, willing to learn new things, and willing to try new things, right? And then repeat the process all over again. Yep, sure. Thank you. Cool. I think that's about it. I like a little what do you call that? I think Francis said something. Adoption rate for technology during the last 2 to 3 months is higher in comparison to the last few years. There's little effort needed to drive by the government. I believe, Francis, you're talking about Singapore, and that is true. I think Singaporeans, by and large, are highly adaptive to new technology. So I think that curiosity, that attitude, right, has definitely put us in good state here. Yeah, very cool. All right. I think we are done for the day. Everybody, thank you very much. I'm checking out right now. Take care. I'll see you guys either on sheesh, Facebook Live, or our next series here. Take care. Bye bye.
Gotta try this a new way. I'm gonna show you the tricks that I know. I'm getting tired of talking.